Elevator is not working, so we gotta bring all this in by hand and leaving the cart inside. I actually haven't shot corporate interviews in a while, so it feels weird to bring all my gear because lately it's just been either me or the camera, nothing else required. So this is your typical, hey, we have 4 people we're going to interview in one tiny room, so we need you to make it look like it's not all the same room and give us some different looks. My buddy Marco is a sound guy, and we worked on a 3-day feature documentary the other day, and he gave me these. I decided to put it on the top of this, and then I'll use my double-sided sticky tape, the Bubblebee Industries, so that way it'll go inside of a shirt and hopefully have more muffled rustling. So I did not buy the Sockler tripod. It's just too expensive for me at the moment. I have my E-Image GH06 tripod head, and that has been perfect, extremely fluid and exact. So I just went with the corresponding aluminum legs, which were about $200. So all in all, it was about $750, and I'm very happy with it, especially because it has a mono lock, just like the Flotex. This is such a flat interview scenario. I'm popping that light right through there. Doesn't really make sense. There's no sun inside of an office, but it could look okay. The only problem is it's daylight balanced, and the 200X is bicolor, so I'm matching it to these lights. So this is coming in really blue.
Conceptual to final, I think.
And then it's my favorite part of corporate interviews. You get everything set up, make sure the audio is good, hit the red button, and just sit back and soak up that day rate. Just making sure everything stays the same. That's really all you have to do. Cameras are usually locked off, and you're just making sure that the audio is still clean. Now, I'm tempted to get a bigger light, but a 200X and a 60D seem to be working for most situations. Fourth and final setup. So we are using you can see the window in the frame. That is for the president. He gets the office that shows the window. So I did have to, keep that in mind because 2 of the other people were just new hires. So I would want to show them in more of like a corner and give the president the good looking angle. So always good to think about. And I am not asking the questions here, so the interviewer will ask a question and then I will maybe follow up and I'll say, do you have a personal story of when that happened? And that usually gives a really good answer. And I'm not the producer or anything, but I've done enough of these to know that really helps in the edit. Also, a common question I get is with this Shimoda doctor bag, when you lift it up, does it stay up? So yes, it does. And that makes it very easy to drop stuff in and drop stuff out when you only have one hand. And I know there's some other ones, I think from Sockler, who kind of just fold in when you let go, but nope, do not have that problem.
So that collaboration
Here's a little cheat that I use sometimes. So the questions have been given to these people beforehand, but sometimes they need a second to take a moment and formulate their thoughts. So while they're doing that, I have the camera set up and ready to go. So I'll just start doing little pans, zoom in, do tilts of their hands, and just get B-roll of them at this location. Because we are going to get B-roll later, but why not just get it now while there's just dead silence in the room? I like to keep the XLR to 3.5 mil for my Rode lavalier on here. It's just less wear on the ports and faster to throw it on and off, and I don't mind having this dangle. It kind of tucks in there. This is the first time I've actually used my cart with the new casters, the 5-inch wheels, but they just don't feel that stable. It does have me thinking if I need to get a bigger, innovative cart, which is super expensive, and they do break down, but I feel like it would take up so much room in my tiny car, I wouldn't have space for all this. Might have to get an upgrade, and they're so expensive. So I went home, initiated the Dropbox upload, took an hour-long nap, and now back at the airport, going to Atlanta for my new Filmmaker meetup. So I got here really late, and I went through check-in and security within about 8 minutes. That's not possible without TSA pre-check, so I really like that, but I'm really thinking about getting a lounge membership, either with the American Express Centurion Lounge or the Delta Sky Miles. But the problem is I don't book my tickets, so I wouldn't be getting those points. So I don't know. It's an expensive card. Amex card is like $700 a year. I'm getting more and more used to these Starbucks breakfasts, and I'm not complaining. They're pretty good. So you just got the FX30.
Yep.
And what lens?
24 to 70 Sigma.
Sigma 24 to 70, a full tilted kit, matte box, double rails. And then today I just brought the RS3 Pro, which we're gonna use and then switch from that to sticks. But yeah, man, FX30, it's great.
Yep, love it.
So it took a couple base plates, but we made it. Basically the issue was getting the camera far enough forwards. Adrian has a 60X, which is nice because we're gonna bounce this up, get a lot of room fill, and be able to match the color temperature of these bulbs. However, since the whole thing we're filming is the floor tile being installed, we need to get stands off, cables off, and that's why we're gonna use a clamp to bring the light up, and then we can just bring the cables up and over, and that way the workers can work and our gear's out of the way. And I've never used this lens before. I believe it's crop sensor, yeah, 10 to 20, but it has power zoom, so you can control the focal length with this. It's extremely tiny, which is really nice for gimbal work. A little bit of the arm is in there. Yeah, that's still the whole thing. Y'all, I am so proud of this little YouTube channel. I did not think it was possible to host a filmmaker meetup in a city that I'm not in, but that guy in the green, Adrian, he hit me up on a consultation call a few months ago and asked me to do it in Atlanta. I was hesitant, but I said, sure, let's go ahead. If 3 to 5 people show up, that'll be a success. We ended up getting over 15 people throughout the night, and some of these people have actually been in the same room, but they've never actually connected, and this was the opportunity for them to do just that. They were able to network, share stories, pass out business cards, follow each other on Instagram, and I was happy that I was able to be the person that was able to unify a little community. So you guys have this filmmaker meetup now. This is your thing. You bring it to bigger and better heights, and I'm just happy I was able to help. Flight got delayed 4 times, and that's really why I want access to these airport lounges with a special credit card. So let me know who's using what card to get access. That was a super fun event. I'm so happy that so many people came out and they wanted to network, and they all live next to each other, but it just needed someone to push it together. So I definitely want to do it in Dallas. Jared, I'm gonna need your help. Maybe that'll be next month. Other than that, it's just more freelancing, more traveling. That's the type of thing that I like to do.